Hello. Okay, so I'm gonna go over what I'm working on today. So last time I made this little book that has 3 covers, opens up, the magnets are in place, it's more evenly distributed weight-wise, and these can latch into place. But it's annoying to latch them into place. I want something where when you open it, it latches down, or at least gets into a better form so that the pages are sort of in a circular format. This one has a nice feel to it. I might revisit it if it's a different format at a later point in time, but imperfect. What I want to mess with today is using a different mechanic. So with this, when you open it, the tension is only so much. It's not going to want to completely flatten out, and no matter how hard you pull, if you pull harder, it just sort of holds in place and you don't have these pages push out. What I want to mess with is a different format where instead of having the pages fold onto the next one, have each page sort of be its own thing, and then you have a second piece that latches on, and so it closes going out, and so when you open it, it pulls down a little bit more. And ideally when everything's a little bit closer in place, that when you have it fully pulled out, it then hooks on to the right side, and then conceivably you would have the next page that would fold down on this, and they sort of hold each other in check, and it's of a length that when you close it, this doesn't push off this end. Now, once I put it into scale, I like having this be a cleaner exterior, either rounded or square like this, but there's a potential of, like, if things don't hold together well in the book itself, that things could just sort of slide off, in which case I would need to put some sort of stopping mechanism up here. But this is a basic setup. You have a page that goes out, and then there's a latching spot on. It's going to end up being on both sides because the pages sort of repeat, but it's of a height that the page won't latch onto it when it's fully open. It won't be quite so tall. It's just tall enough for like one sheet of paper is the idea. So I'm going to start doing the math and building this out in Cuttle. And so I am going to rearrange my workspace so I can work a little bit better. Okay, so let me pull up, where is it? Right here. Okay, so there's a few things that I need. I need to make the page itself. So let's get a page in here, and this is going to be page width. This is easier to keep track of, and for the time being, let me do spread width. This will be 7, and let me make sure that I'm in inches here. Nope, inches. Okay, spread width and page height. And for the time being, this is just going to be 1. And I'm going to add a decimal on it so I can adjust it using a scroll more easily later on. So those are the 2 components of this. The position will be where it is. The scale is spread width and page height. This might be easier actually if I page width spread width divided by 2. I'm eventually going to mirror this, I think, so that I don't have to do everything twice. So I'm going to use this center line, and instead of having this be spread width, it's just going to be page width. And the offset is going to be it's easier to not work in negatives, so page width divided by 2. So that's the page with nothing edited around it. For my own sake and sense of visual stuff, I'm going to give that a fill. Now I need to establish the... Let's make a separate component. This is going to be flap. So this is page, this is flap, and flap is going to be... Need to add another parameter, number, or num page, and for the time being, gonna have a holder of 16. Now let's get the page angle, which will be 360 divided by num page. So now I have the page angle. Now I need to get the flap flap center, I guess. And this is going to be, I have the math on a different thing. Nope, that's the wrong one. Where is, it's right here. This is 2 times that length. I'm just going to copy this from here and paste it, but it's going to tell me that we don't have those variables. So this is page width. And then let me add another. I know that flap adjustment doesn't exist. Let me add another parameter. This will be flap adjust, 0.07 flap adjustment, and change the hierarchy of that to be up here, plus flap adjustment. Okay, so this is the flap, and this flap needs to be flap center, and then it's going to be flap overlap, and for the time being just going to make it 0.10, and then flap width is going to be flap center plus flap overlap times 2. And so this is going to be flap width, and this will be page height. This is just its base location. I'm going to throw a fill on here just so that I know what I'm looking at. And so we got the page and the flap. Now I need to establish what the new parameter. This will be flap slit left. No, this is going to be flap slit width, and this will be 0.03 for the time being. 03. And I need to pull a rectangle over here. And let's see. .03. Let's actually make this 0.05. And then flap height adjustment. This is something so I can come back in, add little variables to it. 0.04. And then, wait, this is flap slit adjustment. Flap slit height A, flap slit A height, and this is page height. What should this be? Page height minus, just make it page height for the moment. This is slit buffer page height minus slit buffer times 2. Let's make this 0.25. Come in here, and this is going to be what's the flap slit width? Flap slit width. Oh yeah, scale is fine. And the height is flap slit A height. The position is negative flap center divided by 2 plus flap slit width. And let's take this rectangle. That's going to be Boolean difference. Let's copy and paste this, and it's going to be let me take this guy and actually subtract that, and I'm trying to figure out what I need here. I'll get a better sense of it in a moment, because I need to have flap slit latch. Height. That should just be, yeah, flap slit A height minus lat latch offset, and this will be 0.2. Flat lat. What is this called? This is flap slit latch height. Okay, flap slit latch height. And this location is going to be you know what, I might make I gotta think through this again. Doesn't really, this could be, yeah. Okay, flap slits, make a new component, grab these guys, paste them here, and we're just gonna have these slightly offset at a later point in time. Flap center divided by 2. And this is same deal. I'm gonna make this, actually, let's make this 3. Modify union, and let's give this a fill just so I can see it. Come over here, get rid of these guys, and I need to make some adjustment here because I need a thing that is scale flap center 0 0. I need these to be offset just slightly so that the far side of the one on the left, which is this guy, plus slit flap slit width. Nope. Flap slit width divided by 2. And then this guy is whatever. This one needs to be plus flap slit width times 1.5. And this one plus flap slit width times 1.5. Okay. So that's the correct thing there. Get rid of this rectangle. And pull this in here. This goes here. And the location of this is 0 0. But I can adjust it. So I need to adjust the x minus flap slit width times 2 times 1.5 let's get this flap overlap to be closer to 0.7 inches. That works fine. Okay, so the height of that is, what's the variable? Flap slit height. Let's also put let's make it so this is universal. This one can come to the top. Spread width, this is going to be 0.04 or something, but this is rounded corner. Come here, modify round corners, and that variable is rounded corner. Just need like 0.01, 0.02. Okay, so that's that. Now we come to this page and we need to make some adjustments. I'm going to make, oh yeah, this is, okay. New adjustments to be made. This is page height, page width. This is spread width, but that's if it's fully out. What I want is, these are going to be longer pieces of paper. Okay. Page width should be divided by 3. No, by 4. So that this is the, let me sketch this out. So I have this page, and I need this to be, this is like the total spread length, and what I'm working with right now is just from here. This is the page width that's active, and I need to add an additional rectangle that is going to be for sake of ease, this is tab slider width, which is going to be flap center plus flap overlap. So let's take this. This is slider width. And this should be this and change. Let's times 2. And then the height of this is Okay, times 2 plus flap slit adjustment. Flap slip gap. Okay, so now I need this is going to be flap slit a height. And this position is page width plus slider width divided by 2. I should be good there. I think it's easier to add actually just one more little bit to this. That's whatever. So that's, and then plus, no, I want flap slip. You know what, let's put that in there, but let's add page thickness, and we're just gonna put this at 0.04, 0.03. I'm gonna use this for the that's not what I want. I want this guy, and I want to have a fill so I'm not getting so confused visually. This is plus page thickness. Paper thickness. And let's add another rectangle. And this is going to be paper thickness. The position is going to be page width plus page paper thickness divided by 2, and this is 0. And the height will be, what is the gap bit here? Flap slit. Oh no, I want flap slit latch height. Okay. Should work. Let me come out of this. Get rid of this guy. These guys modify mirror repeat. Modify union. Modify round corners. And this round corners is rounded corner. And let's see if I this is center spread width. This is total length. I'm trying to work out how to This is an approximate. This is wrong. It should be just make this divided by 2. Total spread is, I'm just gonna total length. This has to be a little bit buried under flap. No, it's just under I need I need let's just put this at the bottom. This is going to be let's just make it 4 for the time being. Total length is center spread width plus, and then this is slider width. Slider width times 2, and then plus page paper thickness times 2. Okay, so I'm looking at something that's 6.4. .9, 4.4. Okay, should be able to get away with this. Actually, let's pull this down. Let's make it 4, and let's move that up, and then page and flap. Flap's location is center page. Oh wait, I have that variable just now. Total length divided by 2. Plus, what is this flap guy? What's this rectangle width? Flap width. Okay. Flap width divided by 2. Total page length this is total length is total page length plus flat width 8.02. So I can increase the number of pages, I think. I'll do 16, and then not that. Modify linear repeat. And this gets repeated. The displacement is 0. Page height. And the number is page. What is this referred to as? Num page. Divided by 2. Now I just need a center score line. So let's come back to page and pull in a line. And the line will be 0. Negative page height divided by 2. 0 page height divided by 2. And let's give this a fill. The color will be red. Stroke also red. Come to component A. That's the only thing that it should need. And let's test this out. So I need to cut this. File, export SVG from Cricut. Locate this in the Finder. Now let's just pull it to where it needs to go. Live Designs. Book fold down. And let's open up Cricut. Cricut. Wait, is this mute? Okay, making sure it wasn't muted somehow. Math. I forgot something. It's not super important right this moment, but I will eventually want new parameter. This can be a little bit down. It's going to be hole diameter, and this will be 0.06. Hole diameter. And I need an even number of holes. Hole number. Let's do 4 for the moment. Circle actually come down here. Position is X. Should be able to get away with that. Okay. So this is whole offset, which is page height divided by whole number plus 1. And let's go to this circle. This is negative page height divided by 2 plus whole offset. And modify linear repeat. Displacement is 0 whole offset. Repetitions whole number. And this gets a modify Boolean difference. Let me just check to see that this works. Add comment. Must be even for Coptic stitch. Okay. Leave it at 0.06. Okay. And now we should be good. Okay, let's export this again. And downloads, desktop, live designs, fold down, replace it, and come over to Cricut, new project. I'm almost to a more interesting, not just format part, but desktop, live designs, book fold down, component A, Cricut. Upload this into the canvas. Give it a moment. And this needs to be a score mark. And these need to be attached. And let's make it. should be good to do 8.5 by 11. Yeah. Just pull this over here. And a little bit more work. Medium cardstock, tools, materials loaded. Let's go. Okay, scoring is done. Cutting out will take a little bit longer. You come back over to here. So someone joined in. I don't ever have a lot of people watching, but if you're just joining, I'm changing what my mechanism is. Instead of having it fold down like in this guy, or I use some, anyway, when you open this book, the folds are trying to come out, but the tension that these pages are feeling is like from one point to the next, and or from one page to the next, and it's not pulling out, it's only pulling this direction and that direction. So there's nothing that's forcing it to go all the way forward unless you have something like aggressively pulling outward like I'm doing just now, but that's not how the book naturally functions when you open it. So what I've been working on today is getting some stuff measured out, and maybe I'm off on this. This is something that works in my head, but what's in my head doesn't always work outside of my head. But the idea is that instead of trying to force it forward, you're pulling down and out, and so it actually like can flatten out in a way that doesn't happen with these guys. If you just pull these apart, it doesn't force in the same direction. It's also a looser pivot point for both sides. So I'm cutting out a test version, which is what I've been working on here, getting all the math worked out. And I might be wrong on the math, but hopefully it works. The idea is that there's a given like center page width, and then based on that, these other things adjust here and there. These are relatively small. When it's folded, it's only going to be like 2 inches wide. No, it'll be longer than that, because when it's folded, it's going to have these extra flaps on the side. So the book will be larger, but when you open it up, it'll sort of slide down. Ideally, we'll see if this is what it is, or if it's not what I think it will be. Chunky boy. And we'll also see if there are any like major issues with the latching tab sort of mechanism stuff that I've worked on. Got some various book styles that I've made with this. I will also need to develop a like first and last page for this. I think it's done cutting. This also means fewer score lines, which is nice because these score lines have been a little bit off recently. Okay, so let me move this back. pull this exterior off. Move that to the side for scraps. And let's see just how one of these feels. Need to make those holes larger, but right off the bat, it's too tight. My measurements are off. I will need to do this again immediately because these are way too tight. Okay, let me come in here. These flap slits. This height is plus, okay, flap slits. It's just that this is too small of a gap. Oh no, it's that these affect both of these components. Okay. So that's my mistake. Come to page, rectangle, here. Flap slit, latch height. Let me just see how. And then I'll mess with some other stuff. I use the same variable for something that I shouldn't have. I do think that that is unlikely to, that's still pretty tight, so let me try something. Let me try cutting this out again, but I need to change something. So in these variables I've got the what is the latch offset being used in? Slip buffer is here and there. Flap slit height. Let's just come into this rectangle. Minus. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Flap slit gap. That should solve that. And paper thickness. Let's make it 0.035 instead. Not huge differences, but it will make a difference. this out again. Here it is. Do this again. Make this hold on, 6 and inch height. See, that'll get to be like 9. And okay, G for cricket. And now let's load this up. And this to the canvas, and change this to be a score mark. Attach this. Let's make it. Almost there. Cardstock. While that's doing that, I'm gonna just see if like the other math on this is okay. And I will need twice as many of these little things as I think that I thought that I needed. Because I wasn't thinking about how each of these needs 2 and not just 1. So I'll probably end up taking these off of here so I don't have to cut more paper. I put that one on backwards. You know what, I'm going to just take these off. Because the other math, these guys didn't change. It's the pages that changed. But I will need all of these little tabs, these little flaps. Because I just did one per page and I need two per page. Come on off. Okay. My mistakes. That's why you prototype. Test things out. Saving grace of this might just be the amount of... Well, I don't think I even need... Did I just... I might have done something backwards. Let me make this flat center. I did this wrong. Bad math. It's not that side that needs to be even. This flap center is, and this is pulled on this side. Let me try building this out. And then I'll fix my math. Can I make these taller? I think I did. I definitely did, so I need to cut out more flaps. Let's just try this on a few of them and see how it functions, and then I can cut out more and fix my flap math and go from there. That's a lot nicer. I'm gonna run into the same issues that I did previously, with these not wanting to settle down into the spots that I want them to. This is not a fix-all. And potential new issues. Yeah, it just goes the opposite way. My issues are just inverted. They're not solved. Which I thought might be what came about, but with a small test it was fine, but once you still a fun structure, but different set of issues. Got one more. Sister side. I'm gonna try just taping these. Let's see how it all behaves. Works pretty good. still gets hiccups. It's not perfect on it. I think what might be a better action is it does fold down a lot nicer than the other one. I think the move, what the better option is here, is not to be concerned with that little latching mechanism and instead having it be just a larger gap for the drop down section, like how smooth it goes down. Because it's pretty loose right now and it works okay. And if there's something that's sort of keeping it in place on the other end of stuff, that's better. But instead of focused on trying to latch it on the base here by having it sort of go like that and having the flap itself have a hole cut into it that's like that, and wanting this section to latch into that, which also weakens this a little bit, this fold right here. I think what a better option is to have some sort of square bit at the front end, not too pronounced, that just sort of goes up and down, and then this latch sort of like goes up and over and then stays in place, and that's just the safety mechanism that keeps it from falling off. And that position is just sort of, are any of these really catching? They're catching a little bit, mostly on the push element. Not really getting caught on the outward sort of direction. They're only really getting caught when it's pushing up. These might stay in place even without that element, but it's better to have it and not need it. Okay, so I think that's all the experimentation that I'm going to do for today. What I need to do is switch to adjust the internal slits of the flap mechanism so that they're just offset the length of the flap that's necessary. Give myself a healthy gap on the top and bottom, which it seems like it has right now. It slides pretty easy, but I can make it a little bit wider in this direction so that these float a little bit lighter. Not too much. Just, I don't know, that's... more is better. Just give myself a little bit of wiggle room and then put a mechanism, put this little guy on the end of these so that these don't slide off without like being intentionally in that format. Maybe I leave something for these to catch on at the bottom, I don't know. And also round the corners a little bit more, because right now they're catching on things here and there. This would also possibly work better just by having something that's slightly more rigid on any end. Just getting caught in there. I don't know if having a smoother thing would be better or worse, or just having that overlap be even less. Works okay, not perfect. I'm gonna date stamp this because I like having it. Put it on this guy. This one will take it. May 3rd. Okay, so that's it for today. Tomorrow is Thursday, so should just be back to do some more stuff, making adjustments on how this works. It falls a lot smoother into place, especially if you're opening it up vertically. If you're opening it up in other directions, it has similar issues, but if it's opening down, then there's less issue at hand. I also need to work on figuring out how to attach on either end of the book, but that'll come once I get this working a little bit smoother. Okay, so that's that. I'll do my spiel now. If you want to buy stuff from me, you can go to my web store, traceloops.com/store. If you want to purchase something and have it shipped outside of the US, you can email me, traceloops@traceloops.com. You can also email me with comments, concerns, questions, curiosities, commissions, etc., etc. Again, that is traceloops@traceloops.com. If you want to watch this stream or other streams in full, you can do so by going to the live section of my YouTube channel, and there will be recordings of this live stream. If you want to follow me on other platforms, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, Spotify, all of those places. I'm Traceloops, TRACELOOPS. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Traceloops, where you will find high-resolution versions of artwork that I create during streams. You'll also find a selection of tutorials, and then at higher tiers, new songs from me weekdays, and at the highest tier, you get a monthly postcard from me with original artwork on the front, little message on the back, and a discount to that aforementioned web store. I went through that fast. I'm like, did I say everything? I think I did. Anyway, thanks for watching. Plan on being back tomorrow. I know that I will not be here Friday, so plan accordingly. I'm going to head out. Adios.